And hello, this is Hope is speaking, and I am so, so excited to be here. Um, and I'm inspired to be here. I really am. I'm inspired to be here, and I'm happy to be here because, especially on my Hope is Speaking TikTok, I haven't been seen as much. And so when I did come on, it was somewhat of an introduction again, because as I said, I hadn't been on as much. And so now I'm back, and let's see who comes into the chat. I'm really excited, and I had just posted some things, some pieces of content that I am so excited about sharing. And I'm also on Restream, so this is still new. I can't quite see who is here or not here as of yet. Either way, I'm just getting used to all of this, which is new. And I'm happy for everyone that is here or coming into the live. Let me know if you saw the content. So, if this is your first live, because if you are in my live, you are here to be inspired in some way. And to be inspired because that's what it's about. Sometimes you just need a little bit of inspiration. Sometimes you just need a little pick me up to keep going. Sometimes you just need hope. Get it? Sometimes you just need hope. And that is me. Okay. And so just a minute because I can't, this is all new. Okay, so let me just pause for a second. Is everyone seeing me? I think everyone is seeing me. Just put something in the chat if you are here, because again, this is new. I'm trying out something new. Anyway, so as I said, I see there's one person in the chat or one person that has just arrived. Uh, this is new. I'm trying this on this new application so I can stream on both TikTok live as well as YouTube live. And I am so excited to be here. What's up? And this is from YouTube. Hello, hello, hello. So I had just posted on TikTok. If you haven't followed me on TikTok, it is Hope is Speaking on TikTok. And I talked about healing and really about how hard it is because it can be extremely difficult to do what we consider healing. And uh, thank you to everyone that is saying everything. I'm getting used to this new setup because I'm using Restream. What's up? So, how hard it is to heal. But I know it's hard because I've done it. And I'm a master at this thing called detachment and healing. Thank you for all the comments. I see them all in the chat. Much appreciated. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, whoa, just a minute. But this is, I will learn and I will get through this with ease. There we go. Okay, so how difficult it is. How difficult it is to detach. How difficult it is to learn how to detach or go away from something that you have loved, or a person, or a place. And I know this because I've done it. And it's really hard. It is really hard to heal and detach. It is really hard to go through a breakup and actually heal. It is really hard to detach from someone that you know that you have to detach from. It is incredibly challenging to do this, and you can do it. And what I learned I'm a master at, and I just made this post on TikTok, is honoring yourself. Because through honoring yourself, and I love the comments that are happening, I'm just kind of reading them. Skin glowing, skin is glowing, skin is definitely glowing. Thank you for that. Um, but to honor yourself means to do really difficult things. And to do really difficult things is hard. And I had shared how at the end of 2023, my father died, and it was very difficult. But I was going through a whole life change. I had flown for 15 years, I was a flight attendant for 15 years, but I had a calling to do more. And I went for it. I didn't second guess it. Here's the thing, the more that you push away the thing that is calling you, the louder it gets. And it gets louder through feeling like you're betraying yourself, feeling like you're not listening to yourself, pain in your body, agony of going to that job. And it keeps getting louder until sometimes you may really have to sit down. You may even be hospitalized because your body is saying you're going to somewhere that no longer aligns with you and you're not listening. In fact, you refuse to listen. But what does that mean when you're in a relationship? What does that mean when you know you can't even sleep next to this person? You're just up, awake, because your body doesn't even energetically align. And let me change the wordage, you just aren't there anymore. And it is something, if you're in a relationship with a person, but you can't get restful sleep while sleeping next to them, that is a sign. That is not normal. But most will assume that maybe I need to take sleeping medication. Maybe it will go away. It's not going away. And it's not going away because you're not listening to yourself. It's not going away because you're not honoring yourself. It's not going away because you've learned the lesson from this relationship, but it's no longer for you. And how difficult that is. And I experienced that. And I remember I journaled this morning that there was a time where there was someone in my life, and I had discussed with them, hey, I really like to go out to the park. They said, okay, that's great. I said, that makes me feel good, especially to do that with you. The person said, great. I said, so can you honor that like once a month? They said, sure. I said, so how about this weekend we go to the park and we go to a nice restaurant? The person said, sure. So we made the plans. And then that Saturday, I said, are we still on? The person said, of course we are. And I got dressed up and I put on my makeup and my perfume and we made our way to where we were going, and we got to the restaurant and everything changed. And the person went cold. Now, I immediately sensed it. I immediately sensed the shift. I immediately sensed the change within the person. And it wasn't a time to argue. It was a strange feeling like, what happened? Because we're at this lovely restaurant and we're going to have a lovely day. But now I feel the disconnect. And it got to the point where the person was completely cold and was like, I don't even want to be here. And I thought, this is strange. And not only is this strange, this is hurtful because I feel the change, but now I have to make a decision. And I have to make a decision because I have to honor myself. This is live. And I have to honor myself because now this may be what is normal in this connection. And now I no longer feel safe in this connection. And now I'm not honoring myself if I continue to show up in this connection. And it was difficult because I, I'm feeling the coldness. I'm feeling the detachment. And all we did was went to a restaurant. But more than that, I had to make that decision. And sometimes that's just what happens in life. You have to actually accept that that's the reality of the situation. You actually have to accept that what you're feeling is real. If you're in a space of saying, well, maybe I can do this, maybe this person will change, maybe I can change, maybe this is a one off, it's not. It's not. And to honor myself is to actually say, which I told to the person, I no longer feel safe. And it's not a physical safety. Within my spirit, I don't feel safe because I'm not honoring myself. And I'm sharing this because if you're not honoring yourself, you will know it. If you're not honoring yourself, you will feel it. If you're not honoring yourself, everything around you will feel abnormal because you're not honoring yourself. And how uncomfortable that feels. And how freeing that can feel when you can feel that and say, to honor myself is to say, this is teaching me a lesson. And I have to stand up and honor myself to say, this is no longer for me. We can have a conversation, which we did, but ultimately, I knew what I had to do. And to honor yourself is to ensure that you know what you have to do. To honor yourself is to ensure that you can have agency for yourself. To honor yourself is just a minute, let me check something. Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, I'm actually going to restart this because I want to ensure that my TikTok viewers can watch this. So hold tight for a few minutes. I am going to restart my live. Okay, thank you for everyone that has joined for the past 15 minutes. But I want to ensure that I'm streaming on my TikTok. So I am going to restart the live. So I will be right back.